crying shame. Some of us have not survived. No use in asking how it happened, but very few are left alive. Just gotta keep on moving. Gotta keep on keeping on. You're only as good as your last record. I know that someday we'll be gone. When we come into a new town, everybody's there. When we play our music, hands are in the air. When the music's over, you wonder where we are. Standing in the silence with my old guitar. Rock is my life. This is my song. Rock is my life. Very much. What a fantastic place you guys live in. Well, as far as you came, we came thousands of miles. It's great to be here. I'm glad you came whatever distance you came to enjoy this phenomenal evening together. We're going to go back 30, 40 years from when I was a child and play a lot of songs that I was very fortunate to be in a band and write. A lot of them came from the Chicago area. And so we were pretty hot in Illinois. Way back, Fred Turner and I in the 70s were looking at new album releases. We saw Yes had a new album. They were going to call it Fragile. We said, what a crazy name for an album. It had the earth breaking in half like an egg cracking. And Fred said, why don't we do the opposite of that? Let's get a box and fill it with gears like Overdrive gears and call our album Not Fragile. So that came out in England and they started to call it the beginning, along with Ozzy and Black Sabbath. This was the beginning of heavy metal, which here means heavy metal.
You
Next song is from BTO1, our first album, which came out of Mercury Records in Chicago on One Wacker Drive there. We're kind of like a Chicago band. It's for everybody out there who keeps America rolling, rocking and rolling. The truck drivers, the mothers who keep the houses going. Yes, thank you, ladies.
Fucking A!
All the police, all the cops, the firemen, everybody else. We are all, this is for all of you, blue-collar workers. 1, 2, 3, go! all you rockers out there. Well, that was from BTO, Bachman and Overdrive. That was a bunch of our songs that I was very fortunate enough to be in with my brothers Tim and Rob and Gary and Fred Turner. And it's great to be here representing them tonight. They have passed away in the last couple of years. We're here as a family band. My son is here, part of the band. My daughter-in-law rocking on the drums. Isn't that incredible? Yes. She is the engine. And for all of you sending wonderful thank yous and comments to our website, to bto.com, and to all the fans of the Guess who've been asking if we would do some Guess Who songs. Yeah. So on behalf of me, Burton Cummings, Jim Cale, and Gary Peterson, for all you Guess Who fans, this is your moment.
I should laugh, but I cry, because your love has passed me by. You took me by surprise. You didn't realize I was waiting. Time goes slowly, carries on, and the good years of coming on. Took me by surprise. I didn't realize you were laughing to me. Please come
and decades of support. Thank you. All right. Gonna go back a little ways to a song I wrote for BTO. It's very applicable now. What we've all gone through in the last couple of years and what we did 10 years ago and 20 years ago. Some of these songs get relevant every 8 or 10 years. Now's the time for this one. This is about taking care of yourself and your family. We've got to learn to love ourselves. That's when you have a problem, the first thing you gotta do is learn to love yourself. And once you can say that to yourself in the mirror, I love you, then say that to your partner. Then your partner, then you say it to your children and your friends and everybody around you. It's catchy. When you go in a room and people are yawning, you yawn. If they're laughing, you laugh. If they say I love you, you'll say I love you back. The Beatles have said it, I don't mind saying it. Love is all we need is love. Just about everybody out there, take care of yourself and keep looking out for number one. 1, 2, 3, 4. the top, looking out for number one. I mean you, keep looking out for number one. Oh, that's us, we're looking out for number one. Oh, that's me, I'm looking out for number one. vocals. On drums, Rolling Thunder, the engine that keeps us going, Bachman. Ladies, let's hear it for Coco. Yeah. Guitar, piano, my number one man, my son Tail, who's going to take over right now. How's it going?
Well, I'm really excited to be here tonight. We always love coming to the Chicago area, and I've never been to Elk Grove Village before, so that's cool. And you know, my mom was born just down the road in Elmhurst, so it's cool to be in this area. And be here with Dad and my wife on drums, and my best buddy Lance on bass, and Brent on guitar. You know, we watched The Fugitive again last night to get into that Chicago state of mind. Memorized all the dialogue again. Richard, I know you're innocent. You know, all the lines. Anyway, first time I came here was in 1999 when I was promoting this next song, which I wrote, recorded, and released on Columbia Records. When I was trying to write a power pop hit, because I wasn't sure that Dad, for all the hits he had ever had a true power pop hit. So I thought I'd try to write one of those, and before I knew it, it was a big hit all over the world. So if you know it, sing along. We're going to try it tonight. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Silicone. She's touch, smell, sight, taste, and sound. But somehow I can't believe that anything should happen. I know where I belong, and nothing's gonna happen.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very, very much. This is my favorite part of the show because we stop being the entertainers and ask you to be the entertainers. You've all seen that. I've watched it. AGT, America's Got Talent. Okay, this is an audition for Elk Grove Village Got Talent. Okay, all night long I've seen you playing air guitar, air drums, dancing, and I want you now to, when we do we're going to do a medley, a jam up of a whole bunch of songs, some of ours, some other songs. When we get a song that really touches your heart and soul, sing like no one's listening, dance like no one's watching, play your air drums and air guitar, come on into the front, let's boogie. Are you ready to party? Okay. AGT, this is Elk Grove Got Talent.
'cause I just can't seem to drink you out of my life.
You guys totally rock. Thank you again, everyone who came out tonight. Thank you to the mayor. You guys have an incredible, fantastic police force. We've had great security. This place has got it all. I kept looking for Beaver Cleaver's house. The Cleaver family live around here. We came for one reason, and you guys are here for one reason. To take care of a little business.
Fuck
Guys.